Library of Heaven's Path. Author, Hong Sa Tianya. Chap
4.
What? That little fellow dares to say that of Master Mo Yang? Master helped him pick out a treasure out of goodwill, and yet he claims that the master is trying to deceive him? What an arrogant lad. Hearing Zhang Xuan's words, the crowd was dumbfounded for an instant before bursting into commotion. Is that lad's head all right? The master went through so much difficulty to help him choose a treasure, and yet he says that fraud, acting cool? What did you say? Apparently he didn't expect the young man to respond in such a manner. Master Mo Yang's face darkened. Little friend, do you have some kind of misunderstanding against me? Misunderstanding? You should be more than aware of what I'm saying. If you want to scam someone, go ahead. It's none of my business, and I'm not interested in interfering in your affairs as well. I choose my own artifacts while you scam your victims. Let's stay out of each other's path. So, stop putting on that haughty look of yours in front of me. Zhang Xuan waved him away, annoyed. He had never borne any goodwill toward scammers. Even so, as long as the other party didn't get on his nerves, he was willing to let the issue slide. Yet, this fellow intended to make use of him to act cool. He was truly courting his death. What audacity. Master Mo Yang's face paled and he flung his sleeves, his actions carrying an aura of righteousness with it. I have attained the qualifications of an appraiser 30 years ago, and I have helped numerous people out of difficulty. My conscience is clear. There has never been a single person who had accused me of scamming them. Everyone here can bear testimony to that. When had I ever scammed any one of you? Master Mo Yang is compassionate and saves those who are in precarious situations. How could he possibly be a fraudster? That falsifying youngster over there, you must be tired of living. Master, don't get angry. I will teach that fellow a lesson in your place so that he will learn to not to spout lies in the future. With just a few words, Master Mo Yang managed to stir up the rage of everyone here. Every single of them looked at Zhang Xuan as though he had murdered their family. Attained the qualifications of an appraiser 30 years ago? Conscience is clear? Zhang Xuan was speechless. You are just a small apprentice appraiser. Must you try so hard to act as though you are bigger than that? Your skin is much thicker than I thought. No wonder you are able to become scammer wanted by the Liuzhu kingdom. Not only is your skin unbelievably thick, your ability to adapt to abrupt changes is truly frightening. Other scammers would panic when they were exposed before others. Yet, this fellow skillfully reversed the tip of the arrow back towards him, making it hard for him to step down from the current situation. If Zhang Xuan didn't possess the Library of Heaven's Path, upon seeing how righteously the other party was acting, he would have surely suspected that he might be making a mistake. However, with the library in his hands, since it was stated on it that he was a scammer, then he was definitely one. Everyone, calm down. Seeing that everyone's anger was stirred and that he was on the offense now, Master Mo Yang waved his hands and said, I am a forgiving person. If you can apologize for the words you said a moment ago, I can choose to not pursue the matter. Otherwise, you should be well aware of the punishment awaiting you for intentionally slandering me. Punishment? Zhang Xuan shook his head. It isn't that hard to verify whether you are a scammer or not, and whether I am lying or not. As long as they clean the outer coating off the artifacts they just bought, we will know the results instantly. What is the use of speaking so much nonsense here? Clean it? Master Mo Yang seemed to have predicted that he would say such words. He replied calmly, I have already said previously that I will be leaving Tianquan City by tonight. The artifacts that I have chosen for them are all large in size and will require at least half a day before their true form emerges. I still have urgent matters to attend to, and I cannot delay my departure for that long a time. Why, are you going to say that the reason why I am unwilling to stay here any longer is because I feel guilty, so that you can make use of this to accuse me? At this point, the elderly swung his arms and exuded a haughty disposition. I, Mo Yang, lived an upright life, so there's no reason for me to fear your accusations. However, I had helped you pick out an artifact out of goodwill on my part, only to have you accuse me of scamming you. Since you don't have concrete proof, it is an act of slander. Do you know the consequences of slandering a master appraiser? Hearing these words, Zhang Xuan realized that he was still underestimating the shamelessness of the other party. As expected of a professional scammer, to have already thought of a plan to back away if the situation were to turn awry. He had already clearly expressed that he would be leaving Tianwan Kingdom tonight, thus paving an escape path beforehand. Before Zhang Xuan could even speak, he was already counterattacked. Right now, even if he were to say that he was afraid of waiting until the artifacts were cleaned thoroughly, no one would believe his words. Furthermore, Zhang Xuan really didn't have any evidence to prove that he is a scammer. The secret on the Library of Heaven's path could not be revealed. Even if it was revealed, there must be at least someone here who was willing to believe him. Lad, kneel down and apologize to the master now. To dare to say that the master is a scammer, do you think that I dare not to kill you right now? Where did this audacious beast come from to dare to lay doubt upon the master's innocence? Upon seeing how righteous and indignant the master was, many people chose to believe in him instantly, and the lot of them started to chastise Zhang Xuan. These people were completely furious. Those who were scammed had self-hypnotized themselves due to their reluctance to accept the claim that they have been scammed. No matter who it was, if someone dared to interrupt their beautiful dream, they would be refuted adamantly and rebuked. From their viewpoint, Master Mo Yang was an upright person, so how could he possibly be a scammer? What kind of joke was this? Since this fellow dares to claim that the master is a scammer, he should be skilled in appraising, right? If you are that capable, why don't you choose one artifact out for us to see? If the one you chose turns out to be trash, you shall stop putting on an act here and scram, a voice from the crowd snorted. Indeed. Since you said that I am a scammer, and you are unwilling to accept the artifact I chose out for you, I'm sure you must be knowledgeable in appraising as well. At this point, Master Mo Yang nodded his head and looks over. How about this? I will give you a chance. We will each choose a simple and small artifact together so that we can clean it quickly for appraisal. As long as you are able to profit out of the object you chose, I will acknowledge that you are skilled, and I will let the issue drop. But if you choose a useless trash, then I'm sorry. But you will have to buy the treasure I just picked out for you. Kneel down and apologize to me. You want to compete with me in a battle of appraisal? Just a moment ago, Zhang Xuan was still in a dilemma on coming up with evidence against him. However, hearing his words, he was slightly taken aback and he almost laughed on the spot. This fellow must have a screw loose. Zhang Xuan himself possessed the Library of Heaven's path. If he were to claim that he was second in appraising, no one would dare to claim that they were first in the world. Are you sure that your head didn't get jammed between doors? However, after giving it some careful thought, he was also able to comprehend the rationale behind the other party's action. In the other party's perspective, Zhang Xuan was only an 18 or 19-year-old youth, so what could he possibly know about appraising? Besides, since he was able to help others profit a few days ago, he must have prepared several means beforehand. If both of them appraised concurrently and Zhang Xuan were to choose a useless artifact, he would be able to make use of this opportunity to further build up his prestige. Perhaps he might even be able to attract a few fools to invest frenziedly. Why? You don't dare to accept the challenge? Master Mo Yang was resolute to eat Zhang Xuan whole. Fine. Since the other party was seeking some thrill, how could Zhang Xuan bear to refuse him? All right, then I'll go first. Master Mo Yang flung his robe and walked along the long elevated platform with large strides. He quickly stopped before a palm-sized artifact and picked it up. This object was covered by a thick layer of rock, such that even the shape of the object inside could not be ascertained. Needless to say, determine whether it was valuable or not. Dealer, how much does this cost? Picking up the object, Master Mo Yang inquired. This object is small in size and there isn't much spirit energy movement that can be felt from it. 200 gold coins, the dealer replied, and he walked over to Master Mo Yang. All right, find someone to help me clean this up. Passing over the money, Master Mo Yang said calmly. Yes. The dealer grabbed hold of the treasure and sent it to the hall at the back. A moment later, he came out with a golden toad in his hands. With an excited look, he said, Congratulations, Master. It is the shed skin of spirit-horned golden toad. What is a spirit-horned golden toad? Spirit-horned golden toad is a tier 6 savage beast. Of its entire body, its most valuable part is its skin. It only molts once in its entire life. This object can be used in medicine, and it is extremely valuable. As expected of Master Mo Yang, to be able to pick out a treasure amidst everything else, your ability of discernment is incredible. Upon hearing that it was the shed skin of the spirit-horned golden toad, the hall burst into commotion. Many people may not know of this item, so why don't you just state a price? It will be much more spectacular that way. With his head up high, Master Mo Yang constantly exuded an acting cool aura as he spoke flatly. This object is worth 2,000 gold coins, the dealer exclaimed. 2,000 gold coins. After buying it with 200 gold coins, the price grows to 2,000 gold coin in an instant? A revenue of tenfold? This is too incredible. As expected of the master, if you can profit so much through a small object, then surely I will be able to make a killing over that giant artifact you chose for me previously. Upon seeing this sight, the eyes of the slightly worried crowd started burning fanatically again. A master isn't just for show. A clear difference in standards shows the moment he makes a move. All right, it's your turn. Master Mo Yang gestured with a cold gaze. Zhang Xuan nodded his head. Knowing that the other party was a scammer, he was aware that he would surely have a contingency plan. Even so, he didn't expect his contingency plan to be so incredible. He had to choose something at least of the same level as him. Can I choose the artifact first and decide on a price after the artifact has been cleaned? Stepping forward, Zhang Xuan suddenly recalled something and looked at the dealer. No way. You have to pay first before cleaning it. This is a part of the rules. Otherwise, what if it turns out to be a trash after you clean it and you no longer want it, or if it turns out too valuable and we no longer want to sell it? It would be impossible to resolve such situations, the dealer stated coldly. In order to prevent such contention, one had to pay after deciding on an artifact in treasure speculation. This was equivalent to signing a contract. No one would be able to turn their back on it. All right then. After being informed of the rules, Zhang Xuan could only nod his head. Then, turning over to look at the artifacts, he said without blushing, Come, point out for me which artifacts are worth less than 8 gold coins in this pile. I will choose one from them. Pooh, what did he just say? Surely I heard wrongly? 8 gold coins and below? Hearing Zhang Xuan's proud voice, everyone spat a mouthful of saliva. All of them stared at him flabbergasted, with an expression similar to how one looked at a lunatic. Are you for real? In treasure speculation, one is gambling for the thrill and the fortune. No matter what artifact one chooses, it is worth a minimum of 100 gold coins. 8 gold coins. What the heck do you expect to buy with that? Is this fellow's brain still functioning? 8 gold coins? Wahaha, you might as well grab a pile of mud and return now. You still dare to say 8 gold coins and below. There isn't a single object that is that cheap here. Okay. A split moment later, tears streamed down the faces of those amidst the crowd due to excessive laughter. The hell, lad? Can you stop being so hilarious? How do you intend to find an object worth below 8 gold coins here? You can't even buy anything, even if you had 80 gold coins. Why? You don't even have an artifact that is worth 8 gold coin in a treasure speculation hall? Aren't you embarrassed? Disregarding the mockery the crowd was making out of him, Zhang Xuan stared at the dealer proudly. His previous self had only left him with a total of 8 gold coins. He was unable to fork out a single coin more, even if he wanted to. Pooh! The people in the crowd stared at one another and burst into laughter once again. You are the one who should be embarrassed. This is just like someone running to a realtor and hoping to buy a flat with a single gold coin. Big brother, is your head really all right? There is no way there is an artifact here that is worth only 8 gold coins. How about this? You can freely choose from this pile of items. After you're done, I will pay for you. If you make an earning, it will all go to you. If you lose, we will just go by what we promised earlier. An apology will do. Master Mo Yang stared at the young man contemptuously, with both of his hands placed behind him, revealing an attitude of superiority. As expected of Master Mo Yang, what incredible generosity. This young man is a clown coming here just to make a fool of himself. I concede to the master's morals, hearing that the master was willing to pay in the stead of his adversary. The crowd couldn't help but feel impressed by his generosity. Do you see that? Look at how the master carries himself, then look at that lad. Forget it. It is better not to compare the two of them. I am afraid that I might vomit. Are you sure? Zhang Xuan's eyes twinkled. Knowing that the other party was a scammer, Zhang Xuan didn't feel any guilt spending his money. Of course, I always mean what I say. Master Mo Yang seemed just like a saint who had descended to the mortal world, unsullied by worldly dirt. Hey, I shall start picking then. Zhang Xuan smiled faintly, walked over to the platform and scanned through the artifacts in the pile. Since the other party chose a small one, naturally he was restricted to choosing smaller items as well. Besides, the larger the artifact, the longer it took to clean up. This lad is too shameless. Indeed. I have no idea why Master Mo Yang treats him so well. If I were to meet such a fellow, I would have surely smacked him away with a palm of mine long ago. To insult the master, and even use his money to buy an artifact. Shameless. Seeing how the young man wasn't ashamed at all, rather, he was browsing through the items excitedly, the crowd was speechless. They have met thick-skinned people before, but they had never met one whose skin was that thick. You were the one who insulted the master as a scammer first. No matter what, the both of you should be in a hostile relationship. Under such circumstances, don't you feel embarrassed using the other party's money to buy an artifact to compete with him? That's enough of you. Ignoring the discussions of the crowd, Zhang Xuan touched every treasure that entered his vision. Soon, he also chose a treasure of the size of a palm and handed it over. It cost 200 gold coins as well. The dealer took a look at it and says flatly, "Master, hurry up and foot the bill." Unashamed, Zhang Xuan gestured the master to hurry up. A dark line streaked across Master Mo Yang's face. He intended to ridicule the other party. But he didn't expect that he would accept his help so proudly, to the point that he seemed like he's his servant instead now. Suppressing the urge to strangle the other party, he paid the sum. All right, let's clean it up here. With everyone watching here, no one will be able to accuse me of falsifying the results. Zhang Xuan gestured. Let's see whether you can continue being so haughty after the object is cleaned up. The actions of the young man also infuriated the dealer. He casually fetched the tools used for cleaning artifacts and started to clean it bit by bit. Soon, the moss and rock covering the object fell off, and the true form of the item inside was revealed. It was a semi-transparent rock that emitted a warm glow. This is Linglong stone? Observing the appearance of the stone, someone from the crowd shouted in disbelief, "What is Linglong stone?" Some in the crowd recognized it while others didn't. "You don't even know this?" Linglong stone is one of the main ingredients in crafting a phantom tier equipment. Every single stone is extremely valuable, and it is the type of good which is always short in supply. The person who spoke earlier explained in agitation. Equipment could be split into God, Saint, Spirit, Phantom, and Mortal. In a location like Tianshuan Kingdom, there was almost no mortal pinnacle equipment, needless to say, phantom tier equipment. Thus, every single one of it could be sold at an exorbitant price. As the main ingredient to crafting phantom tier equipment, the moment it was put up for auction, countless families and experts would go frenzied over it. How much can it be sold for? Those who didn't recognize this item couldn't help but ask. It was difficult to perceive an item's value just by its rarity itself. The best way to ascertain its value was still through its price. I've heard that the Liuzhu Kingdom had auctioned one of it a few years ago. It was smaller than this, around the size of a chicken's egg, but it was already priced at 50,000 gold coins. Look at how big this one is, not to mention its level of purity. No matter what, it is worth at least 100,000. The one speaking swallowed his saliva at this point. 100,000. Everyone on the spot almost went mad. An object bought for 200 gold coin is sold for 100,000? A revenue of 500 times in an instant. Is this for real? This... The dealer's hands trembled as he stared in disbelief at the object in his hands. As a dealer of a treasure speculation hall, he was capable of identifying plenty of treasures and was aware of their prices. He knew that there wasn't a single error in the words of the person who just spoke. This item was definitely worth that price. Impossible. I must be seeing things. Seeing the shock washing through the crowd, Master Mo Yang's face twitched. He thought that the other party would be unable to choose anything of value and that he would be able to make use of it to display his superiority once more. Never, in his dreams, did he expect for such an incredible treasure to be chosen. Both the items were priced at 200 gold coins, yet his was only sold for 2,000, whereas the other party's one was valued at 100,000. Wasn't the difference too massive? I will be auctioning this Linglong stone now. The highest bidder wins. Aware of what this object is beforehand, Zhang Xuan wasn't surprised in the least. He grabbed the treasure from the hands of the dealer and gazed at the crowd. I offer $100,000. The one who recognized the Linglong stone earlier shouted his bid first. 100,000 gold coin might be a huge sum, but compared to a treasure like Linglong stone, the latter was much more valuable. I offer $110,000. There were a few within the crowd that was aware of its value as well. 120,000. Soon, the price was finalized at 153,000, and the stone was taken by a wealthy middle-aged man. This is a banknote from Tianshuan Bank. With this, you are able to withdraw 153,000 gold coins from any single bank in Tianshuan City. The middle-aged man grabbed the Linglong stone and passed over a stack of banknotes. The weight of gold coins was considerable, so moving them around wasn't very convenient. Thus, just like in the ancient times of Earth, banknotes started appearing. After taking a look, he knew that those notes are real and placed it into his embrace. Then, he retrieved a banknote worth 1,000 and walked over to Master Mo Yang. You paid 200 gold coins for me earlier. Here's 1,000. Keep the change. Treat it as a tip.